What's going on? This is Review Rogues. Alongside with Ronnie Orich, my name is Antonio Reyes. We are gonna review today Stranger Things. What's going on, Ronnie? How you feeling today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Ready to talk about this season. What a season it was.
The entire season we're reviewing. We have Let's Santana, our producer, right behind us. Let's hear with a nice and loud voice. What's going on?
Hey guys, we just finished watching Stranger Things and we're so excited about everything that happened and we're ready to go today.
Damn right. Let's get right into it. Overall, just give me your first impressions of what you thought season 3 was all about.
Things. It was enjoyable. It was very entertaining. I just feel it definitely wasn't as strong as the first two. Maybe just my own opinion, or I guess bias. Like it felt weird to me that we didn't see, and there's spoilers obviously in this review. That
this is always spoilers.
We didn't see the whole cast together until the very end. You know what I mean? Where I thought that was a lot of the show's charm. Like I like seeing Hopper on the same screen as the kids. You know, they had a lot of funny expositions and
maybe they were
dialogues.
doing different things as professionals, you know?
Maybe. I mean, I doubt it because, you know...
They have a commitment to this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just felt like that was weird, and it took away from the show a lot.
That makes sense. Let's hear what's going on with you. What you thought about the show overall this season?
I definitely have a lot to say to what Ronnie just said. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Aside from that, I like the season. I also feel like it wasn't as strong as it's been in the past. But like we've seen in a lot of different shows that we've watched, every show needs that episode that kind of that season, that kind of switches things up. And I feel like this was a transitional
kind of season. Yeah, I agree.
I feel
Too
like
much.
Moving forward, like again, like
it's
you
just
saw
gonna
all
get
the
better.
Ads, it says one summer can change everything. Literally, that's what the season as a whole was, a transition. So later, moving forward, we're gonna be able to see them as different characters, and also, as you said, kind of separate. It doesn't have to be the whole gang together. Aside from that, I also want to talk about later about how many ads. As somebody that works in marketing, I was like, what is this?
Honestly,
like,
I didn't notice too much. I wasn't paying attention to that, I guess. But, I mean, I could see why you guys would say that. Like, on my second watch of it, I noticed.
Absolutely. Right away, I think what caught my attention with the season, I listen, I just thought about this actually right now. It's very true. This possibly could be just kind of the jump start of where they want to go with the mind flayer and the character itself. Because if you kind of see, they don't really have an idea of what this monster is or what the direction you want to go with it. This is perfect now. They're kind of, in my opinion, they're going to go and they're going to make kind of like a Cell type of creature out of this. But we'll get to that towards the end. Overall, I just thought this season wasn't as strong.
You had a different
Trash.
word for it, yeah.
That's what I was saying. It's trash. You know why? And that's my saying, guys. I didn't think the entire season was trash. But from episode 1 to 3, I thought it was just really dragging. Episode 4 was actually the very start where you saw things really pick up. I get that number 1 through 3 kind of give us context of where they were. I didn't need 3 episodes for that. Then
to interject real quick, like it did drag. You know, I still thought it was interesting because we haven't seen these characters in a while, and that they're at a certain age where life starts getting a little complicated. So we saw some of that with the girlfriends, the relationships with
But did we need 3 seasons of? I mean,
no,
3 episodes
exactly.
Of that?
We didn't need 3 episodes.
So at first, like that was my first opinion. I thought 3 episodes, nothing has happened. What's going on with this? I didn't really get why there was so much little tiny details. But then when I got to the end, and especially with everything that happened with Hopper at the end, I did feel like we needed that. And again, as a transitional season, you're kind of getting like the background story of like why every single character is kind of changing a little bit, how they're growing up, and it's needed because all these characters are at an age where you physically see how they're so much older than in like the first couple of seasons. So
I agree.
I think moving forward, it's gonna get a lot more into like the relationships that they're having. They're gonna probably start exploring.
That's our fourth guest, Kane, running around the house right now.
We got a dog here, guys.
We got a little puppy.
Yeah.
So we're basically gonna see them in a whole new light, and we're gonna see them more exploring like sexual relationships and things like that. So I do feel like you needed those tiny details in order to piece everything together and kind of understand, because it goes back to us talking about Spider-Man, how we needed a background for Mary Jane. This kind of gave us the background.
It did, but I feel that term that I guess we thought of right now, or maybe other people used it, transitional season. Like I feel like no show should ever do that. It's detrimental to it. Like, it's reminding me of like what happened towards the end of Game of Thrones.
And this is exactly what I thought it was. This was season 7 for Game of Thrones, for Stranger Things. But this is gonna keep on going, which is good.
And what I do want to say too is, like, for a show that's really good, the shows that people catch on to, like Stranger Things. By the time it reaches like its 3rd season, people already expect something crazy to it. So like, I do want to like say it's not an easy job for the writers, but it could have been handled way better. Like, it was, think about it. Overall, the threat was really generic. It was the Russians, the typical Russian bad guys. You know what I mean? Let's
go ahead and do the recap real quick. So before we get ahead and we doing all the summaries, and I think it's pretty dope. Let's get the recap going. Guys, this is the recap. So here's Ronnie. Ronnie, tell us real quick about the story and tell us what happened in the season.
So right off, from the end of last season, we saw how Elf closed the gate. And presumably, obviously not, but presumably they didn't have to worry about that anymore. But, as with any normal person, you're still going to worry about that, the other dimensional beings showing up. So, Russians are now in Hawkins. They're trying to open it for, I guess, Russian reasons. Russian reasons, typical.
Hashtag Russian reasons.
Russian reasons. Like, literally, there, like, this whole mall popped up, and I knew from the jump, like, this mall is here, so, like, it's connected. Russians and the mall are connected. A lot of politics there together. And then, the Mind Flayer got through, which is, I thought it was pretty cool how we saw the representation of him in the Upside Down, that he was smoky and stuff.
Right.
And they still kept that, except he was made from, like, a bunch of
out of flesh, kind of sort of
so
thing.
That was a little creepy. But, everybody's, they're growing up, like we said, they're dealing with relationships, all the while trying to, deal with this threat that's going on. And then we also see a big thing, which is that Will's mom, she wants to move away. Well, Hopper is trying to tell her not to. We saw a romance developing there, and of course the bomb at the end of the season where Hopper died, quote unquote.
Yeah, no, and let's get a little bit into details about it. What did you think about the fact that I'm gonna jump a little bit before we go. I'm gonna be jumping around, guys. Yeah. Supposedly now, like 46 people died, like legit died. So this is now I'm guessing it's a wide known problem now. So it's gonna be interesting how they're gonna just kind of play with that around.
Trying to cover it up. Like, I feel like, and I didn't want to wait till later to mention it, but like it seemed like it's pretty obvious when it's in the public eye now. You know what I mean? So in the next season, we're gonna see Russians again. So somehow the U.S. government's gonna be involved, but like more in a.
So the U.S. government did come towards the end. Like shut down the Russians. The little, what is that, like the underground?
Their underground base.
Yeah,
pretty much. And what was
from season 1? Like from season 2.
Like it's a show, granted, we love it because of the kids. Like, they're so funny, the dialogue, but it was just so weird. It was a different tone. Like, the first season specifically was so dark to me. You know what I mean? With the testing on the child and then all of that, she getting her powers.
They got him like kind of cursing now too. Like, I saw a lot more cursing.
I saw that. Like, Dustin's been known to always curse. And then the second season, it was dark, not as much. But this one, it was just all over the place to me. Cause for example, I know it's a show, but I find it's just so weird to me. 4 kids infiltrating a Russian base.
Yeah.
And literally
getting away with it.
Like,
yeah. I mean, what's this guy's name?
Steve, man.
Steve got messed up though.
Yeah.
He got messed up.
Yeah.
But and I was like, man, he got off lucky because
he did get off lucky.
Yeah, they could have. It's crazy because his right eye was swollen and all that. But they could have even done some even crazier stuff.
They made him
with
a
that.
sleeper agent or something like that.
Oh.
Who knows?
And
I feel like we gotta mention, like, no, we're not taking away anything from the actors because I feel everybody in the show did their thing. Like all the actors, Hopper especially.
Some more than others.
Some
you know
more
what
than
I'm
others for sure. But
Yeah.
you know, there were a lot of great performances by Hopper. I forget his name is David. Sorry.
I
about
like
that,
Mike,
yeah.
man. Mike, I think that Mike was the one that really did it for me as the bad guy of the season,
You
pretty
mean
much. Billy. Billy, God.
Billy. Billy did a great job.
Absolutely, Billy did a great
Billy did a
job
great
this
job.
year. And this is what gets me mad that they're gonna cut him off because he's dead or whatever.
Yeah, I actually thought he was gonna die the first episode. I was like, okay, so from the jump, like,
Right,
they're
that's
not
true,
holding
too.
anything back, but
Yeah.
you know, he was still alive. It
Yeah.
would have sucked because I liked his character.
I love his character and what he
Yeah.
brings. I kind of wanted to see him as the good guy. I
Yeah.
guess he did the good deed
Yeah.
before he died, but that wasn't enough for me personally because that was one of my favorite
Mm-hmm.
favorite characters. Not Mike, Billy, and
Who else you thinking about?
Hairspray
names.
guy,
Steve.
Steve.
No
yo,
disrespect, Steve, bro. That's natural. Man.
yo, Billy and Steve are my two favorite characters.
Same. Nah, I'm sorry. Actually, Steve and Hopper. I love Hopper.
Hopper
is
pissed me off this
what?
season, man. He sounded like a alcoholic.
How?
He was like all moody and stuff all the time.
I mean, think about
that was
it.
him the
his,
whole time.
His surrogate daughter is growing up.
I get
He's
it.
dealing with that. It's understandable that he's a little.
I get it. You're an angry father, not a drug addict.
I didn't get drug addict vibes from him.
What do you think? Did you think he was kind of weird? Like,
Nah, I felt like the reason, like, he has a very, like, emotional backstory.
Yeah.
And I do feel like the reason why he was like that this season was because it's pulling strings on, like, his past. So I felt like it was understandable.
Oh yeah, at the end during his speech, I was tearing.
I cried.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
I didn't cry, but I
Nah,
could have been.
man.
I held it back. I can't even lie. I held it back.
I let him go, bro.
I
But I was
He
more.
was sitting there
I was just
like-
upset mostly that Mike died because I knew for
mean
a
Billy?
fact. Billy.
Wow, okay, your character's straight.
My God, what is wrong with me?
Billy.
Don't drink before a podcast. So
That is a joke.
definitely isn't. No, but I think that Billy. Listen, I knew off the bat Hopper wasn't dead, and I could guarantee you right now. Shout out to Money Ray 22 Moises, aka Wisp, for this one. Moises called me as soon as he saw that we posted it on Twitter that we're gonna make an episode on this, and he said Hopper's in Russia.
Yeah.
And you could kind of tell, and then I don't know how he kind of figured this out, but he said
What
somehow,
other
some
American
way,
would it be?
the underground, it's a tunnel that Russians actually know how to use it now, and we don't know how to
You
use it,
mean
but Russia
a
does.
transcontinental tunnel, dude?
Kind of like something
Bro,
like
that's insane.
yeah.
Nah.
No, seriously, and that's how he got
it's
there.
as simple as okay. So the Russians know about the upside down, right?
Right.
The upside down is literally the same exact thing as this right here, just upside down.
I know.
So
And
them
what-
themselves
so
could
what-
just be traversing there, traveling.
No, but there has to be. But there's no cars over there because we've seen the upside down. There's no cars. There's no planes.
Yeah,
How
there
would you
are.
get? What? There's cars in the upside down.
Everything is there. It's just who's gonna use it. You wanna see the Demogorgon driving in the car and stuff.
I didn't see no. No.
Bro, in the beginning
traffic.
when Billy hits his head when he gets hit, right when he's driving,
Yeah.
the car is in the upside down, like it's there. You know what I mean? So it's the same exact thing. So you can
So
think
how would Hopper get from
the Russians are in the
Indiana,
upside down.
Indiana
well,
to?
everybody has a phone. He booked a flight to Russia in the upside down world. It's probably
No.
like $10.
No. Okay,
Look,
so that
it's-
makes sense. The Russians are there already.
Yeah, they know
so
about it. They have a Demogorgon in Russia. They were feeding it at the end of the show.
Right.
So they know what it is. So they could
This
easily
could
just be using it.
So crazy.
That's
like,
where it could get
next
crazy.
season could get so
Yeah.
much better. And that's why I'm telling you that this is not a bad thing. This is transitional season, because unlike Game of Thrones, the transitional season ended up being the season ender. The
I
last
agree.
season.
For
This
Game
is
of Thrones, the transitional season was actually season 2 because they killed off the main character in season 1, and then you kind of.
But
had
everything
to, like,
felt. Everything had
story-
that
I feel like-
continuity. Everything
yeah, the
was.
story
Everything was.
kept- it
Everything
progressed.
flew very.
Here,
smoothly.
it wasn't more of the upside down. It was just like big monster, Russians, boom, there's a show.
Yeah, and now it's just like, boom.
Literally, like that's what it was.
I thought it was so corny too. Like I thought it was like a scapegoat, like a cop out, bringing the Russians in. Like yo,
Yeah,
you could have
like-
not done a secret organization or something. Really?
Or just more of the Upside Down.
The Russians.
But again, this is they're said that's the problem. Like I said, the transitional season it takes away from the show. You know what I mean? Because they were setting up so much, and look at what actually happened.
Yeah, I mean, we can find out.
Where this could have been set up in one episode.
It's not even
you know
Russia.
what I mean?
It's some people that just happens to be in
But
Russia.
like this whole setup could have been done in one episode.
Absolutely.
Like
No,
you could have just seen a Demogorgon in Russia, and boom.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean? Well, keep going, Tone. Like overall, like it was entertaining, but it just wasn't strong.
Yeah,
That's how I feel
it
about
wasn't
it.
strong, and let's just base on like just the character itself. Like
I can't wait to talk about that because honestly, like I feel the biggest disservice they did was separating them all season.
let's start off first with
man.
Elle. Elle, I felt like she had a really good performance this season. I felt like we had a lot more from her. I can't wait till we start seeing her character develop into
great.
more of a human and
It was
less
great
of a
seeing
robot.
that with Maxine. Yeah.
Yeah, like I dump your ass is kind of the coolest things. That was a
that
cool
season,
line,
yeah.
and I keep seeing that on Twitter the whole time, so that's pretty cool. It was actually a funny line. Just what do you guys think? What do you guys think about Elle? Like, you know, what would you guys like to see on Elle, and what do you guys thought about so far this season?
I thought great performance by Millie Bobby Brown. It was again what we said, like seeing that new, I guess you could say, shade of her character where she's a girl, she's going around shopping, and Maxine very intelligently points out boys are not everything.
Right.
And then that's when we see her having fun and doing funny stuff like blowing up the soda for the girl that was looking at her wrong. You know what I mean?
Too, yeah.
So more things like that is the strongest point of this show because we've seen a lot. I feel in general as a general populace in cinema, like we've seen aliens, we've seen this, we've seen other dimensions, we've seen government. The thing that stands out about this show is the characters. You know what I mean? In my opinion, and the Upside Down because that particularly like what they're doing, it's very interesting.
Absolutely.
That's a very strong point. So I hope they keep going with that. But Maxine did really well too, even though I feel she wasn't like in the front. You know, like she had more of a supportive role to Elle, which is fine. Like she did her thing there.
Do y'all think that Elle is the main character of the show, or no?
I guess.
What do you thought about Elle this
think-
season?
I think,
No, the group. The group, I think.
Well, I do feel like the main character of the entire show is Elle.
I think so too.
But I would also say
I think it's all the group of kids.
the group, yeah.
Like Maxine she's coming into the fold now.
Yeah, but I think Maxine is dispendable. I think that
I don't think that's the right. I get what you're saying. Like if for some reason she had passed this season, that would have been fucking crazy.
listen, if
crazy.
Elle passes dies or Maxine dies, it's a big difference of reception that there will be. So as like if
All right, but you can't compare Maxine to Elle when Elle has been in every season so far,
right?
And Elle is the being of the existence of the show. Like that's not even fair for you to say.
Yeah, like with no Elle,
like
there's no show.
Like,
what other characters?
Maxine,
what other characters?
You can't compare Maxine to any other character because she just
right.
The
But
gang.
even
The
any of them, I think that I think the only one
Billy.
I think that the only one that you would say like, hey, I'd rather have Elle die than him is Dustin. Dustin is probably like the main one.
Dustin?
I love Dustin.
I think Dustin is the main one.
Nah, man.
I think Dustin is the
Bro,
main one.
you willing to break up the Dustin and Steve relationship? Like you crazy, man?
No, what I'm saying is I'd rather have Elle die than Dustin.
No.
If I had to pick from one of them.
That's a tough one, man.
What?
Elle is the only thing that keeps that could really fight
She's the only-
I get it.
the monsters.
I get it, but she will come back to life or something like that. There's she
No,
has
see,
superpowers.
I'm glad you
Well, that's
mentioned that.
different. That's different than killing her off completely.
No, I'm saying, but but in a moment they'll make you have that feel of that.
But you could do
you know
that
what I'm
with
saying? That's
anybody
sad.
as long as you set them up properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how you explain Dustin coming back and not Elle? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That coming back part, like, I didn't like that Hopper passed, right? Generally.
he didn't pass.
No,
man.
listen,
Let's get over that.
I'm telling you, like, as I saw the show before the ending, you know what I
Right.
mean? I was like, oh, he's stuck in there. He gave her the look. As soon as he was like, you want to be Detective Myers? I was
Right.
like, he's gonna die. Like, I know it already. So I was already like, this
foreshadowing,
sucks.
baby.
So, like, damn, I forgot where I was going with this.
It's all good. Let's go. Keep going, guys. Tell me real quick before we
Oh my
recap this,
God.
because we're gonna make nice and quick. What characters you guys impressed you the most? Give me one character I was like, yo, that was my guy for the season. Steve, why?
Why? Because he basically, first of all, I love the chemistry between him and Dustin.
Amazing.
It's same season 2.
Yeah. It was great basically seeing them back together.
Right.
And I know that you mentioned that you didn't like that they were kind of separated, but I kind of like the fact that you're following 4 different tales. It's very, again, oh my God, we love Game of Thrones. But it's very like Game of Thrones where you have like
a lot of things going on.
And you're going back and forth.
Yeah, I agree.
And I did like that about this season. There were different.
It's a love and hate for me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the different journeys.
I
seeing
understand
different
that.
perspectives, understanding different parts of the story that eventually, like in
Connected.
episode 6 or 7, like actually connect, and you're like, oh, boom, boom.
But
boom.
I understand that 100%, and I can see why. But it's like, I feel like that's not what Stranger Things is. Stranger Things has.
What is Stranger Things?
It has.
Can't keep,
Go ahead.
talking about shows and movies based to what you think it is. Shows evolve.
But not even
I
that.
understand
I
that.
just I don't know. I don't think that
Watch the
Stranger
same
Things really had a face though, because like again, I told you that the first 2 seasons we kind of have this mind flare stuff. It's still a shadowy figure. We don't really even know what's going on.
That's what I'm trying to
By
say.
the way,
like,
where's the little pet from season 2? Did he die?
yeah, the Demogorgon. It grew up and they killed it.
Oh, okay.
Like, so this show is interesting enough with one sole plot where literally it's the government doing shady stuff,
right,
and the other dimension. If they just focused on that, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have to branch. I feel they don't have to branch out too much because
yeah,
that was what was so captivating and what kept me like watching seasons 1 and 2 was all of that. You know what I mean? Now I have to follow these threads where these characters are not together, and then this is happening here, this is happening here. It got a little weird after a while.
Yeah, I mean, and that kind of leads me to, and we're gonna wrap it up. We got about 5 minutes left. Hidden agendas in the show. It kind of rubs me the one way. 2 things rub me the wrong way. Having Russia as an enemy, like, come on, let's get over that stuff. Like,
I mean, it's because of the time that it was set
yeah,
in.
but still, it's just like we know about the times, but we're still watching. It's, first of all, it's a fictional show. It's so, you gotta be more politically correct, in my opinion, about that stuff. Like, come on, man, like. Russia and U.S., that's corny now. Like, oh, that there's tension and stuff like that. There could be absolutely government tension, but we, as people, do not care one bit about what Russia's doing.
That's what I'm saying.
As
like,
much
it
as
was generic.
as much as people in Russia don't even care what civilians are doing in New York or United States.
It was really.
So
generic.
I thought that was kind of like, come on, man, don't go there. You're just creating that tension, which people like. Listen, these shows influence people. There's a whole bunch of commercial, and that's my second part about this
How
stuff.
the hell did they build a whole base that big underground in that time? Like, these kids look the same from season 2 to 3.
Yeah, no, they're not. They don't.
They look
don't.
similar. They don't look
yeah.
that
They're like
crazy.
all big. They're like bigger though.
But do you see how big that base is that they need a car
Yeah.
to drive in
Yeah,
there?
that was a 2019 job done in the 80s.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, they reaching too much.
The suspension and disbelief is crazy.
Exactly.
And again, what I'm gonna say is, we gotta be careful with these shows and the influence that they provide. Like, literally, like, they had Burger King in this guy's mouth.
Wait, who?
In Hopper's mouth, he had a Burger King bag. I literally wanted Burger King right that second.
I don't even remember that. When was
There,
that?
so there's right when they're Hopper has the hostage, which is the Russian kid.
Alexi.
Pretty funny character too. I'm kind of whacked that he died. But
that was sad.
he comes in with the Frosty, because not the Frosty, the 7-Eleven slushy,
Yeah.
which you guys, the promo again, the Eggos, the slushy, 7-Eleven, the Gap, everything, like JC Penney, like, come on, guys.
I feel real quick we gotta mention like the chemistry between Alexi and I forget his name, but the guy with the glasses.
Yes, it was
It
pretty
was so
funny,
good,
and it made
man.
it, and you got connected to them.
Yeah, to Alexi, like, he was that's what
I
I'm
thought
saying.
Alexi was gonna stay.
Dude,
You could have kept it on as the scientist.
Alexi is the least generic Russian dude in that show. That's to my point again. Like,
And
they
he
threw
killed
this
him off.
generic stuff in here. It got this interesting. But Alexi is a perfect example of how ironic it is that not having the generic stuff helps out the show. You know what I mean? So, I mean, all I'm trying to say with that is, like, again, entertaining. The direction they went, performances were good, but I don't know.
So let's give it final grades, guys, and let's wrap this up. We're gonna do a quick podcast again, like we said. We're not gonna do an hour like last time. Give me final grades, guys, for the show and final grades.
And where we think it's gonna go,
and where you want it to go.
Okay, you go
Not
first,
where you
lady.
think.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay.
I think it was good. I think it was entertaining. Eventually, I realized why there was so much background to the story because we did need it. It could have been a lot more exciting, even though it left me sad and on the edge of tears at the end. It could have been a lot more. But I understand that I felt like we needed that because moving forward, the show's gonna take on a whole entire different life. And
I
we're
agree.
gonna see the characters evolve. Think about it. The show's gonna come out in like a year or a year and a half.
Right.
For the next time. They're gonna be
Grown kids.
So we're gonna see.
I mean, these
much
kids are
older.
probably grown right now. They're probably 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
don't even know that. Like, they just look, they portray these 12, 13-year-olds, but they're probably 18 or something like that.
Yeah.
No.
So we're the show is taking an entire different direction.
No.
By the time it comes back, it might even phase out a little bit the parent. So what if Hopper comes back, but it's not as a main show type of person, or by the following season?
He's gonna be even more important. Watch, he's gonna be Jumanji.
Well,
He's
you
gonna
know
be the
what?
guy from
I
Jumanji.
feel
Watch.
like next season might be
Whoa.
them trying to get him back to the.
What's the Jumanji? What's the character for Jumanji? The original Jumanji. He was a comedian. He died.
His daughter's name is Zelda. I know you're talking about.
But I think that's pretty
I know
much
what
what
you're
they're
talking
gonna
about.
do.
I cannot
with-
believe we
with
forgot
Hopper.
his name right now.
Man,
dude.
yeah, that's bad.
Robin Williams.
Williams.
Yes, Robin Williams. I think he's gonna be like the Robin Williams in Jumanji kind of character, where you're gonna see him like with a beard and stuff like that.
That'd be funny.
I wouldn't be surprised. Ronnie, give me your grade and what do you want to see next year?
The grade I'll give this show. Overall, I'll give it a 7 too, because even with all the little nitpicks I had with it, it was still ahead of a lot of other shows. Because there's some pretty boring shows out there. It was well done. I was still I was mad at how Hopper died, but I was so connected enough to the character where I still shed a tear at the end for him. You know what I mean? And that's another shout out to David Harbour. He did a great job. As far as where I think the show's gonna go, again, I think it seems pretty obvious. I think so that the Russians know how to utilize the Upside Down, and they somehow got Hopper, or they found Hopper in the Upside Down,
Right.
took him to their base,
Yeah,
and
a
who knows what
helicopter.
they're doing over there.
Helicopter all the way across the ocean.
I do hope that it's not like they take. I'll wait 2 years or 2 years and a half happily, as long as it's done.
It's not rushed.
It's not rushed. It's not generic or anything like that. Because again, this season I feel like this was a filler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nothing too crazy happened, and keep the kids together on the screen,
And
please.
you wanna know something? I also feel like Netflix could have easily expanded this and made it like 12 episodes. Like, why limit yourself? Because in certain cases, it did feel like certain things were just rushed. So why limit it to 8 episodes?
In hindsight, I think I agree, but like also in hindsight, like the first 3 episodes and stuff kind of dragged. Like I just wanted it to.
So-
I wanted to finish.
and that's what I kind of wanted to say. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my
But
grade.
I do agree with what you were saying, Letty.
I'm gonna give this a 5, guys. A 5.
I thought you were gonna give it a 4.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it an incomplete kind of grade. It was dragged at the beginning. It was rushed towards the end. It had its good moments, but overall, again, I feel like I was sold garbage.
Damn.
Like
Did you
this
enjoy it?
transition. Listen, I enjoyed it, and this is why I'm gonna give it a 5 and not give it a worse grade, because you know what? I was still able to binge watch it very smoothly. I couldn't
wasn't a
even.
chore.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like, man, I'm sitting here and I'm watching and I'm stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually legit, like 2-3 episodes had passed by, hours passed by. I couldn't even tell you whether it was 3 hours or it was 20 minutes. You know? So
yeah.
that's the good part about it. It was easy to digest, but overall, I just think, the storyline was really bad. Everything was. I just didn't like it. So, but I also understand that I'm expecting bigger and better things. for you DBZ fans, Dragon Ball Z fans, I kind of think that they're gonna make like the Mind Flare. They're gonna give it a personality as it keeps going and going and going, and eventually we're gonna get like the cell, like the Mind Flare is gonna try to evolve into a human being. That's what I think is gonna happen. And
remember, damn, we forgot
if you
about this crazy scene where in the beginning where Billy first gets attacked or brainwashed by the Mind Flayer.
Right.
And when he's there, he sees crowds of people, and his own self comes up to him.
Right.
So again, I don't know where the hell they're going with that part of the show.
Ooh.
But
what if people are alive?
this is what I'm saying. You don't need Russians. You don't need Russians. You don't need none of that. That
what if like
itself
people that
is
get killed by the Mind Flayer are in the upside down world? That is crazy. Wow. I didn't want to get into that too much, guys.
Oh my God. Yo, guys, please, Duffer
We should
Brothers.
direct.
Duffer Brothers, do not
get ideas from us.
Do not use Russians. Take your time.
Yeah, please just cut off the Russian stuff now.
They're not gonna get cut off.
And just say like, hey, like you thought it was Russians. It was just people from Russia, secret organization.
Something like that.
That I would appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. And keep that same theme song, yo. I love that theme song so much.
Yeah, they're probably gonna stay there.
I love it. It's amazing.
All right, guys. For Let's Hear Santana, for Ronnie Orich, my name is Antonio Reyes. Please like, subscribe, both on iTunes, on YouTube. Give us your comments, your feedbacks. We love the fact that people were participating in our comments on our first video. Mm-hmm. Please participate in our comments, not only in YouTube, but interact with us on Twitter. All our social medias is out there. Guys, thank you so much for the support, and have yourself a great one.
DM us any questions, comments. If you even like to try to be on and talk about shows with us, please, man, don't hesitate. What we got?
What's the next thing that we're gonna work on, Miss Producer?
Well, we're gonna see a lot of different shows. Within the next couple weeks, we're definitely gonna see Euphoria, which is like a big hit in HBO.
Baby,
dying to watch it.
Baby,
look out for that one. I'm excited for Hobbs and Shaw, with The Rock, basically.
Can The Rock make a good movie?
Oh, we gotta. So
what? You don't like The Rock's movie?
We're gonna talk about.
Let's go somewhere else.
About the whole Fast and Furious franchise. So we'll have a dedicated
That'd be a good one.
episode just for that.
Real quick, what's your favorite one?
Producer.
What's your favorite Fast and Furious?
Oh, I am like, that's my favorite movie, first of all. That's
your favorite franchise.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I live and die for the Fast and Furious.
Which one is what's the best one?
Well, I like the original, the first one. And then I also like kind of like the reboot when The Rock ended up joining. So
I gotta see that stuff.
We gotta talk about this, but
first one in Tokyo Drift for me. I love Tokyo Drift.
That one was the worst one, guys.
That was the worst one. That's garbage.
That's your man's.
Man.
That's your man's.
You guys like this guy?
That's your man's.
Yo, damn. Help me out.
All right, guys. We're done here. Thank you so much. Peace.